Okay, we are going to do a video on alignment. This is in response to homework questions, and one of the questions was alignment, also vertical spacing, and a couple of the things that are shown here, right here. Now this is the report that, the sample after we finished working on it. And I received your homework and appreciate each one of you spending the time to do the homework. And as you can see, the questions came out, and these are things that need to be answered so that you can go forward from a better starting point and feel accomplishment in learning these aspects. And we'll cover more than alignment in this video. But first, alignment. Let's take a quick look. Now I'm going to bring up the test sample, and I'll click on Modify Report, and I am going to, almost as always, save it as something else so I can make these changes. So I'll just change it to 1C and save. And now I'm ready to go. So let's take a look here. One of the questions was alignment, and it's in keeping these along with the headers. And so that is real easy. And once you see the tool, you'll see that how useful these tools are. So if I want these all to align, now you've got left adjusted and right adjusted. Let's cover that. Up here, this icon, now watch this. That sends it to the left adjusted so that the lettering starts on the left side and goes right. Now I'm going to hit here, and that makes the lettering start on the right side and go left. And the reason for that is when you've got numbers, you always want them to be adjusted to the right so they line up and make sense. And so if you're in documents like this, like description, you want them probably to start left adjusted and go this direction. So utilize this first. Make sure that these are all in sequence, and I'm holding the control key down so that I can click on all of these and have them stay highlighted. And now I'm going to go to the one that I want the rest of them to be aligned to. And so I'm going to right click, and now you go down to these beautiful little options here. I want them all to be aligned right to the right position, and so I'll click there, and now they all align there. If I wanted them to all align to the left, and I go up here and click Align Left, you'll see they align to the left position. Now I'll just click this and undo, and they'll go back to where they were. Again, edit, undo. That's a beautiful word. So you click that and it'll reverse what you just did. Okay, so that's the alignment of columns, and it would be true of any of the columns. Let me see here. That kind of takes care of this one, and here's the next one. Okay, so let's say, well, one of the other areas is I mentioned these rows, which are different groupings, subtotals. These rows you need to be sure and put in the type of row that it is, so that it's obvious when you're seeing these totals. Is it a job total? Is it a phase total? Okay, so right now group 2 is phase. This is a group 2, so we're going to type in phase total. And group 1 is a job total, and you would put in job total, or whatever the group 1 is. In this case, it is both. And you should always align these with some field here. And that's so that if you are sending this to Excel, the columns, you don't have all these extra little columns, splitting up all the data all over the place. And so, first of all, I want these to, and they have to match the one that you're in. This is a left adjusted column. And so I want these to be all left adjusted. So I'm going to come up here to left adjust. Seems like they were. Okay, now I'm going to keep the control key down and click that. And now I'll right click and do left adjust. That brings these all in line. And actually, if you want to do it the right way, you should be sure it includes the title and then left adjust. Okay. Now if I send this to Excel, all these will be in one column. Important. It doesn't matter which column these are in, as long as they right adjust or left adjust the same as the column that you're putting them in. Okay, at least this way, when this comes up, you'll know that that's a phase total and a job total. But let's say this and this are off. In a sense, I'm doing properties. Let me go back and do that again. Okay, hover over, right click, properties, and I'm going up here to the top. I usually like to have things, at a 2, never 0, not usually 1, but I usually like to have things at a 2. Okay, so this here is going to be a 2 instead of a 3. So that goes up just a little bit. Let's see what these are. These are also a 3, but they're not the same now. Okay, and that's what this one is for. See, this is a little lower than that one. So let's do the same type of thing here. We're going to click on that, hold the control key down, and click on these. These look like they're the same, but this is not. And so I'm going to hover over the one I want them to all be like, and I'm going to right click and top adjust. Top means up to the top of where it is in the spacing here. Now watch these over here. Now see, they went up to match this. That will solve this issue where you have them off. These are a little bit more than the one off. And so if that one up above it is set at 2, I want them all to be similar, so I'm going to do that. Hover over the one you want and top adjust. Perfect. Oh, and total. I didn't even put a total in there. I mean, as a name. Totals. Now, here's another adjustment. This, and this, and this. So we're going to make sure that this one is left adjusted. It is. So we'll come down here and left adjust, so these are all lined up. Now let's see if this is a 3 or what. Yeah, let's go a 2. This is your choice as to what levels you want yours to look at or look like. I'm just telling you what I do. Top. Okay, so that takes care of those. Let's take another look over here. So that's good. We've done this and this. Now let's talk about row spacing. Oh, what about, and we took care of that. So let's talk about row spacing. Okay, and that's a good one. Now let's take a look and see what this one is. Okay, that's a group 1. Now if you do this, what I've just done, if you click over here, you're safe because it doesn't change the group. See, it's group 1 there. But if you click anywhere else, it could change this from a group 1 to something else. So always be sure of that. And now, what this spacing does, if I don't have this, let me just change this to no print. And we're going to save. And we're in 1C. And when this gets ready, you'll see that when I print it again, it'll look like this one here, because the phase will be too close. Okay, now 1C, I'm going to make sure it always stays at 1C for now. Save as default report. And also, I want to just do one job during this demo, and so I'm going to save defaults. That saves these up here, and all of this, whatever you have in here, it'll save that. That's saving this. This saves the job, so that always comes up. Okay, so let's just do this to screen. And now you see, here's that issue. It's too close. And so adding a row at half height is what I do. And see, that is what this is here. I changed it to no print, so it doesn't view. But this is a group 1, and if you have a group 1 and a group 1 around it at half height, and I'll show you half height, so I'm changing it back to group 1. Then if I click here and come up to this icon, then you can change font, color, or the height. So I changed it to half height. And that's what that is. And so I think, let's see here, I think that is handling the questions about alignment. And let's see if that takes care of everything. Okay, the next thing I want to answer, or actually, provide as input, and one of the issues was phantom fields. And I'll show you what that is. Let's see here. I guess I'm not going to show you it in that sense, but what happens sometimes is you'll get a field that is just not fitting right and not really showing itself very much, like this right up here. And you can't seem to get a click on it. And so phantom fields can happen almost any place. Here's an example of phantom fields. We don't know which rows these are, and we seem to have things kind of here and there and everywhere. And in another example, I don't know if I have that one handy too. I don't. Anyway, that was phantom fields. So let's see, I'll show you what I do. When I'm having trouble finding and solving a problem with fields that may be in here, there's a couple things. One way to find out where all the fields really are, and sometimes they don't show, but they might be right here. Don't ask me why. Okay. Um, I go up here to the white arrow in a box, and I click that. That allows me to identify stuff. Now, if I just put it someplace like this and then draw a line. Okay, let's do that again. Now see, I'm covering some area, and that highlights all the fields that were in that box, including ones that may be visible or invisible or too small or not showing right. And so I'll hit escape, or this tool has saved me in so many ways. Now see, I drew that right about here, which missed this one, but it got anything that stretches into that area. This tool is so important. Now, when you see something, now I see that is a date. Now, if I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I'm going to cancel because I don't want to. Yeah, just click someplace else and those all go away. Now I can click on the one that I found and go properties, and now I can see all the details with it. So that's one thing. But other things, sometimes it gets really crazy. And so I label each row here. So okay, I just click in an area. Now you have to realize it's not going to show when you print unless it's close to here. But anyway, group 1, I just type in G1, G2 for group 2, detail. If there's more than one detail line, then I would say D1, D2, D3, whatever. Okay, now S2, S1, and T. Now let me get all of these highlighted. Oop, wrong key. Have to use the control key again. Now first of all, I'm going to line them up. I'm going to line them to the right. That didn't work. Oh, yeah, I have to hover over that one, align right. There we go. Of course, now I have to click on them all again, but that's okay. Now, if I just scroll these over here into somewhat close to the 7.5, some of it will show, or most, you know, about to there. And I click, now see I'm in C, so I'm okay. I'm going to save. And now get out of there. What this does is it'll help you to identify rows that may have strange things going on. Okay, so I am going to just print the screen again. Now you see, here they are. Okay, now I can see exactly what's happening. There's only one detail row, but it's printing all of this. This is definitely a subtotal 2 and a group 2. That will help you a great deal. And if you want, you can click on them, control key down. I didn't do the half oops, I didn't do the half size rows because that would have made them a whole row, a full width, and I didn't want that. Okay, now I've highlighted them. If you want to, you can just slide them off of here and leave them if that's helpful. They won't show. If you're doing it to Excel, they'll show. But if you are just doing to non-Excel stuff, then they won't show. Okay, and that will help you find things and be better able to unravel mysteries. So let's see what else there is. Okay, we had alignment, vertical spacing, extra rows, phase not needed, and finding hidden fields. Finding hidden fields is what this is all about. But phase not needed. Okay, if you are doing a by job by phase report, but you find that the company you're doing it for, if it's maybe it's your own company, you don't use phases, then don't do a phase row, because that just gives you the word phase and blank on everything. It just adds to the unnecessary data on your screen. And so easy enough to go ahead. If you wanted to leave it in there, that's fine. Just change it to a no print row. Now that won't print. It stays in here, but it's a no print now. I'll put it back to a group 2 because that's what it is, and leave it at that. I think that covers the items that were brought up for homework. So those things having been said, let me know if you have any other questions, and we'll cover those in week 2 also. Thanks so much.